And the film will be reviewed by film lover Keenan Peacock, who is a colored man from South Africa and also an AFTA graduate in film directing and writing, and now currently living in Japan. So before we chat to Keenan, here is a trailer of the film. All right, Keenan is joining us live from Japan. Keenan, hi.
Hi. Nice to be on the show.
Thank you for joining me. All right, so what is the film The Cage all about?
All right, so this film is based on it. The narrative focuses on a young teenage boy in Philadelphia, in America, who is constantly on a daily basis barraged with this decision where he has to choose between following his dream or defending his block or his or essentially just an extension of his pride, which is the gang that he belongs to.
Mm-hmm. The movie is set in Philadelphia as well as Pennsylvania in the United States. How does the setting add to the movie and to the message that the director is trying to send?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How does the setting of Philadelphia and Pennsylvania in the United States add to the message that the director was trying to send in the movie?
Sorry, that was a bit unclear. Could you repeat that one more time?
All right. So the movie is set in Philadelphia as well as Pennsylvania in the United States. So how does the setting add to the message that the director was trying to get across?
So the director was trying to, what I believe the director was trying to bring across was a story, a message of that we, no matter what circumstance we find ourselves in, we always have a choice. And what better setting to choose than the hood, the ghettos, where people are constantly faced with the decision to either become another statistic or to strive to be better, to try and make it out. I thought it was a very good decision to base your story around a young youth in the Black community in South Africa, in America.
All right. What are your favorite and least favorite parts of the movie?
Right. My favorite part of the movie has to be the dreamscape scene that they cut to quite often throughout the course of the film. It's like this mystical basketball court. And as the movie progresses, we see these vines creep up onto the court with the intent to entrap him. And as he falls deeper and deeper to the dark side, we see these vines slowly latch onto him, and they begin to start choking him, and start pulling him away from a basketball that he is so desperately reaching for. And I saw this as the vines being the decision that he's faced with. And on the backboard of the hoop, there's a countdown timer, which I saw as this perceived timeline, this deadline that he had to make this decision. And this pressure kept building on. And by the end of the movie, the timer runs out. But the character realizes that the vines that were trying to strangle him were him all along, as the vines begin to bloom, and he sees that He just needed to accept who he was. Um, when it comes to things that I didn't like about the film was the concept of the portrayal of black youth in the film. I think it was an honest film with a good message about choice. It also shows like the human side of the American black community, which is so often demonized by the films and other narrative forms, including certain news channels. It's a story of hope. It shows that despite the situation you find yourself in, at the end of the day, you still have the ability to choose what you do with it, what you do with your life. But the movie does cloud the fact that being surrounded by certain environments will undoubtedly have an effect on how you shape your worldviews. Life is never clear cut. There's never a choice. Sure, we do have choices sometimes.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people that find themselves in environments like these, they really don't have that much choice. Because you could cast a stone of it's based on the friends you choose, but like in this day and age, that argument's a bit lazy and trite, if I have to say. It's hard to choose good friends when the only people that will see you as more than just a stereotype or what society considers to be the bad apple.
Yeah.
And if you are only surrounded by that, like coming across the good choice is very rare. So I feel like the film presenting the idea of like everyone having a choice, that's the one thing I didn't like.
Yeah, no, that is so true. And that's what we see in most TV shows and movies in this day and age. All right. So would you recommend the film to anyone? If so, why would you recommend it?
I would definitely recommend the film to anyone who is interested in a grittier film, a grittier short drama. Like even just one of the first few lines that you hear in the film. What was it? It's this one line that stuck with me. It's spoken by the father from the other side of prison glass, and he says, "No one chose to be born here," and it just shows you like the type of situation that you're going to find your protagonist. Essentially it's just the luck of the draw. He was born into this situation, and now you, as the audience, get to go on this journey with him. Although short, you go on this journey with him to see what he makes of that situation that he finds himself in. And I think that was a very good. It was a good film in that sense.
All right. So thank you so much for your time and for that review, Keenan, and have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye. That was Keenan Peacock, a film lover, taking us through the film The Cage 2017, which you can watch on YouTube. It's a 15 minutes film, so it's not going to take up a lot of your time in case you're wondering that, oh my gosh, this film, what am I going to do, etc. Nah, don't worry about it. It's just 15 minutes, but there's so much message in that 15 minutes. You're going to wish that the movie would go on and on and on. Just a little bit backstory about it. A young man's survival on North Philly streets entangle him with violence, anger, and death. A film that depicts sheer cinematic brilliance created by Ricky Staub, founder of the critically acclaimed Neighborhood Film Company, or Co., notoriously known for its commercial work, but also brought us the memorable narrative Carved in Mayhem, capturing the raw authenticity of North Philly streets. We are carried through a young man's survival with a vivid melange of realistic and metaphorical pictures, the entangling of violence, anger, and death. An honest picture of redemption in the face of overwhelming darkness. The Cage is a tribute to second chances, to the profound transformation that can come from one kid deciding to walk towards the good, even when society has labeled him the opposite. The cast of this film, people from my own neighborhood in North Philly, are very connected to the vulnerability and suffering at the heart of the film. They were so present and so honest. They had an almost childlike playfulness about getting into character. And did you know that most of these characters had never acted in their lives? So you will really appreciate their work. And the reoccurring theme throughout the film is a sequence of vines growing from the concrete and wrapping around Zeke. If you watch the film, you will see. And Keenan also mentioned about the vines. In the end, it's revealed that the vines are the vines of roses. And this is reference to Tupac's poem, The Rose That Grew from Concrete, in which Tupac writes about something beautiful growing from a place of hardship. So remember, once again, with hardship comes ease, comes relief. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media. If you have any comments or questions or queries, please send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061-766-0355. You can also send them to us on our social media pages. Do stay with us. We will be right back.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
A strip of land with over 2 million people blockaded for 13 years. Healthcare is on its knees, food is scarce, and water is inadequate. COVID has wreaked havoc in the lives of the people of Gaza. 53% of the population live below the poverty line. 80% of Gaza relies on external aid to survive. And 20,000 children are now orphans. The future is bleak. Please, don't forget Gaza. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted thousands.
We're now being told by our teams and staff on the ground that the situation is becoming quite dire there.
Who now face economic hardship and turmoil across all sectors.
The majority of South Africans are now a lot more concerned in terms of putting food on the table.
Penny Appeal's support to thousands of families in South Africa, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Yemen and Palestine has been possible thanks to your support.
One thing we've learned to make our intentions, decide that we want to make this difference.
Thousands more need our help in securing food to sustain their families. Feed our world with Penny Appeal to provide food security to communities in need. We are on the ground. Donate today towards a monthly food pack or breakfast daily to school-going children or provide impoverished communities with sustainable vegetable gardens. Visit www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
DoosieMed Medicine Depot Retail Pharmacy and Emergency Medical Depot. Conveniently situated in the DoosieMed Medical Center, Corner Burger and Bosser Street, Pietermaritzburg. We provide safe, affordable and convenient medical facilities. Open till 10 p.m. every day of the year. We have a full house clinic that operates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is run by a qualified sister. The clinic offers immunization, vaccination, wellness, general consultation, and more. Call DoosieMed Medicine Depot on 033 3421 DoosieMed Medicine Depot, your pharmacy of choice.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
May Allah protect you wherever you are. No matter where you are, you're never too far. 'Cause here in my heart is where you will remain. And I promise you this until my dying day. Oceans apart, always in my heart. Many miles in between, but that doesn't mean you're gone. Fear man in love, in the may Allah protect you until we meet again, my friend. Time passes by, you're on my mind. Everything that I do reminds me of you. Brother, believe in these words that I say. Nothing's the same since you're gone away. May Allah protect you wherever you are. No matter where you are, you're never too far. Here in my heart is where you will remain. And I promise you this until my dying day. Oceans apart, but always in my heart. Many miles in between, but that doesn't mean you're gone. Fear man in the liquor. May Allah protect you until we meet again, my friend.
So many people in this life admit they come and go, but only some will remain as bonds are cast in stone. You made a mark in my life and became a part of me. Thinking of you not as a friend but as my family. Remember when we got together for the first time? Started from the bottom, hit the stage and had a good time. I know it's all become a part of our history, faded in the background, part of our memories. You'll always be our friend until the very end.
Yeah. Oceans apart, but always in my heart. Many miles in between.
With Oceans Apart, I love singing along to that. Anyways, it is 12:55. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and I wanted to share this article that I came across. It's actually an opinion by Tarina Nkuse. Happiness in times of crisis. Is it possible and relevant? It's been a year since the COVID-19 pandemic led to lockdowns around the world. We have all had to make substantial changes to our daily routines, with some of us losing our loved ones and others contracting COVID-19. Given our current state of grief, hardship, and general unhappiness, should we even consider the notion of happiness? Recent studies says a resounding yes. In 2012, the United Nations declared 20 March International Day of Happiness, effectively recognizing the relevance of happiness and well-being as universal goals and aspirations for people across the globe. The World Happiness Report is released on the same day every year. It contains rankings of national happiness based on people's evaluation of their own lives. This year's survey focused on the effects of COVID-19 on various aspects of people's lives, including happiness, mental health, and social connections. Surprisingly, while people experienced more stress and sadness in 2020, there were no changes in average levels of positive emotion and life satisfaction, which are widely accepted as indicators of happiness. The report further suggested that globally, people seem to have recovered from the initial negative mental health impact of the pandemic to some extent. One contributing factor seems to be trust. Individuals who had trust in their communities and were able to count on others were more likely to experience sustained life satisfaction during the pandemic. South African survey data show a similar trend, with levels of distress increasing in February 2021. Additionally, 58% of respondents indicated that they felt hopeful, and 59% said that they remained hopeful in difficult times. The majority of South Africans surveyed indicated that they had a strong support structure made up of family and friends and experienced a sense of solidarity with their community. In other words, there are some signs of resilience and well-being despite the challenging circumstances we experience. Having strong negative